Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 5 of Plugged In Radio. As always, I'm your host, Matt, and this is the show where we bring on plugin authors, plugin developers, plugin companies to talk about sort of their plugins and do a little demo, show us how to use it. You can find out more at pluggedinradio.com, and hopefully by the time you're listening to this, as I've been saying all along, it's finally in iTunes. So if you do enjoy the show, we would love a 5-star rating. Let us know how we're doing. Pluggedinradio.com/contact. If you like the presentation of the show, you want to see some things a little bit different, or do you have a favorite plugin you want me to bring on to the show, let me know. Without further ado, this is episode 5, and we have the famous, the infamous, the guy who does a whole heck of a lot in the WordPress plugin space, Pippin Williamson, and today we're going to talk about his latest venture, Restrict Content Pro. Pippin, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Matt.
Restrict Content Pro, easy digital downloads, Affiliate WP, countless others from the past. Why are you jumping into the membership space, and what does it mean for the rest of your product line?
Well, it's kind of funny that you mentioned that it's my latest venture. So Restrict Content Pro is the latest project that me and my team have been working on, but it's the latest project that we've been working on, but it's actually one of my oldest plugins. But what we recently decided to do was kind of rebuild it and bring it up to the same level as some of our other projects. So we have 2 other large projects that we work on day to day, and Restrict Content Pro for a long time was kind of a hobby project that I built for myself to help sell memberships for my own website. And then a few months ago, we decided, you know what, let's take this, it shouldn't be a hobby project anymore. Let's elevate it to a complete product line that is kind of up to par with our other ones, and let's see what we can do with it. So that's been our project as of late.
That's it's amazing to see you sort of, I don't want to use the word repurpose, but just have this long history of plugins and sort of find the ones that just interesting as a WordPress entrepreneur. I know we're not supposed to be talking about this stuff. If you want to learn about WordPress entrepreneur stuff, that's in mattreport.com. But it's just great to see like you had these ideas years and years ago, and you kind of built like a little MVP, and it was nice. It was great. You never really did much with it. You kind of went off in another direction, and then all of a sudden you come back and it's like, wow, there's some real opportunity in this old artwork that I produced.
It actually I think it gave us a nice little advantage with the product because it was used for 4.5, 5 years. It's one of the first bigger plugins that I built, but it was used on a small scale. And so we were able to kind of put our toes in the water without really diving in, get a better idea of how people wanted to use it, what were the real needs. And then when we're ready to really go full steam, we have a pretty good understanding of what is needed, what we want to see the product do, and I think that worked pretty well for us, and it will continue to work well.
Nice. So restricting content, memberships, paywalls, having member-only access to specific content on a website. These are all the things that this plugin is geared to solve. What do you think the best sort of fit for the customer is? Is it the new age sort of digital marketer? Is it the developer, or a little combination of both? What do you see?
I think it's specifically talking about Restrict Content Pro, I think it's a little bit of both. So we've both built Restrict Content Pro to try to be a simple product to use that is not necessarily trying to cover every feature under the sun. It's designed to do one set of things and try to do those very well. And then, so that would be for a user that's trying to set up a quick membership site to restrict access to some of the content through a membership. But at the same time, we've also tried to build it to be very developer friendly. So if you want to take and extend the plugin or modify it or add new features to it, we've tried to build it in a way that's easy to do for developers. So it's definitely targeting both.
Like you did with sort of your last plugins, or not, I want to say your last plugins, but your existing plugins, like easy digital downloads, for example. Other authors are sort of could create their own add-on and maybe even sell it in your in your little ecosystem. Is that something little ecosystem? Is that something that you can you're aiming to do with this, or sort of taking it in a slightly different direction?
It's a slightly different direction. So Easy Digital Downloads has a complete extension marketplace where we list and advertise and sometimes even sell add-on plugins from other developers, other teams, agencies, independent developers, etc. Restricted Content Pro also has an add-on system where there are these other plugins that you can obtain and they add functionality to the product. What we've decided not to do, however, is we are not running an extension marketplace for it. So we have a series of what we call our professional add-ons, and those add-ons are available to anybody that purchases our two top tier license levels. And then we have a series of add-ons that are free for anybody as well. We do want to encourage third-party extension developers to come in and build add-ons for us for Restricted Content Pro, but we're not trying to be a marketplace to sell them. So we'll list them on the site as you're showing with this third-party add-ons page. That's a list of everything that we're aware of. So we're more than happy to help promote other plugin authors that have built add-ons for our plugin, but we're not at this time selling them.
Got it. Best way for somebody to get in contact with you, just use a contact form if they're developing a third party.
Yep, you can just go to the support page on the website, and on that page there's a subject, and you can choose from like select other or development or something like that, and just reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to work with you.
Awesome. Let's talk about the pricing for a quick moment before we dive into sort of a demonstration of the plugin and sort of a quick sort of startup guide to the plugin. Ultimate, we're going from $449, starting from the left. Again, I forgot to mention this at the top of the show, if you're just listening to the show, awesome, thank you very much. But you get the best bang for your buck if you do watch the show, because we'll actually be demonstrating and showing you the visuals of setting things up. So starting from my left, the Ultimate plan, $449. All the way down to the personal, $49. Sort of your thought process on pricing and sort of average pricing for plugins these days. I feel like you fit right in between that, but anything about pricing and sort of the features you do and don't get on these different levels?
Sure. So there's 4 price levels, as you just mentioned. There's the Ultimate license, which is $449. There's a Professional at $199, a Plus license at $99, and a Personal license at $49. So the Ultimate and the Professional license are going to be the best value because they have 2 add-ons that they give you in terms of additional functionality and features. So number 1 is the Ultimate and the Professional license can be used on any number of websites. So there's no limit to how many times you can activate your license key. But the Professional and Ultimate license also include access to what we call the Professional add-ons. So that is a series of add-on plugins that we release that add additional functionality to the plugin. Things like integration with Help Scout, hard set expiration limits. So like if you want to force all subscriptions to expire on one date, regardless of the registration date. Things like custom success page redirects. So if you want to send customers to a specific page based on the level that they register for. So maybe a gold membership goes to this page, a silver membership goes to this page. There's a few other add-ons as well, but so those are only available to the Ultimate and Professional license. And then the Plus and Personal license, the main differentiator for those is simply the number of sites that you can activate. So the Personal license is a single site, and then the Plus license is multiple sites, but not unlimited.
Gotcha.
And then at any time, if somebody wanted to, they could start with a Personal license and then upgrade to any of the higher licenses at any time from an account page.
Nice.
And then all of them are yearly renewals, except for the Ultimate license, which is a lifetime license that never expires.
Got it. It's kind of fitting that we're having this conversation today. I had our WordPress Meetup, South Coast WordPress Meetup last night, and there was a lady there that was interested in starting a marketplace. Very much first-term entrepreneur. Like she was very, very excited about, her idea, as we all are as entrepreneurs. I mean, if you're not excited about your idea, what are you doing? But sort of the, everyone's going to love this, right? It's going to be a marketplace for, I forget the vertical that she was going for, but it was a specific vertical, which was good, but it was a marketplace of anything. So people of all of these types could sell anything. They could sell books to tools or something like that. Didn't matter, but it was for the specific vertical. And the challenge I told her, so she came to the meetup first time, and first time even looking at WordPress, and she was like, "Is there something that solves this for me?" The answer is no, unfortunately, for your vertical. There's this 80-20 rule where when you select the plugin, it might do 80% of what you need, but that 20%, that real business differentiator for you or for the person starting that business, that 20%, not every plugin is going to do everything exactly the way you need it to do, right? Or the way you're thinking it's going to do it. And that's when you need to sort of move into hiring somebody, learning a little bit of custom stuff on your own and maybe tweaking it. But the point I'm getting at is for, $49, somebody could set up a membership site and might not have all the features that professional has. But the idea is focus on building your business. Get the people there first. Get the transactions going. Like the woman last night, I told her, don't even bother building the website right now. See if you can get people to join a Facebook group that are interested in this kind of thing. See if you can get people talking. If you can't get 100 people into a Facebook group where everybody is, you're going to be hard pressed to get people to your website.
Couldn't agree more.
After spending, she was talking to other consultants and looking at plugins, spending thousands and thousands of dollars. If you can't get 100 people for free into a Facebook group, you're going to have a hard time getting people to your $10,000 website.
Yep.
But price points like this, $49, when you're ready to make that leap and you need those pro add-ons, it's a perfect justification, right? People go, oh my God, $200. I can't spend $200 on a plugin. That's ridiculous. Who does that? People who are making money, who are looking for great support from a great plugin. Right. That's who. So these entry points sort of allow people to sort of leapfrog and get them into
certainly.
This stuff.
Start out with a $49 plugin, and then that covers your basis. And then when you discover that there's a few more, maybe a little bit more niche features that you realize that you need, simply upgrade at any time.
On the same sort of in the same context here, you have, I know with my own personal experience with Affiliate WP, you have sort of a consultant list. You have people who are looking for that 20% that need to be customized, and your team certainly can't handle it because you're focused on product. Are you doing the same sort of thing here? Have you thought about doing any other professional services on top under your brands?
Yeah, we do have a consultants page. You can find it on the website. I think it should be down there in the footer. If not, it's at /consultants. And it lists some developers and agencies that are pretty familiar with the plugin that do custom work. So if there's something custom that you need, you can certainly do that. We have played with the idea of offering custom services in the past. It's not something that we do at this time, and it's really a bandwidth thing. In order to offer custom development services for any of our products, we have to have a dedicated team to do that. And right now, our team is focused on providing customer support and building the products. And so maybe at some point in the future, we'll be expanding into offering official custom services, but not at this time.
Nice. Let's dive into your demonstration. I'm going to adjust the screen here. I'm going to go to the screen for right now. So you're going to demonstrate what I'll call a quick start guide. What it looks like to really set it up super fast, and what it looks like to the user coming to a site to either register and maybe mock buy a product.
Certainly.
Folks who are just listening, just listening, definitely watch the video. It's going to be the best bang for your buck. There might be a slight delay with our GoToMeeting today, but we'll figure that out as we move on.
Okay. So I'll give you a quick bird's eye view of the plugin, basically. So after you activate it, you're going to have a menu down on the bottom left side called Restrict. And under here, you'll have several options, including members, subscription levels, discount codes, payments, reports, settings, and a few others. So there's a few key things that this gives you access to. First of all is a members list. That will show you a list of every single account that's been registered on the website. It will include things like the status, the expiration date, the subscription level that they signed up for. And so if I can get this to load in there. And so it gives you basically an overview of the accounts on your website.
It might be opening up in another tab, actually.
It is. There we go.
Maybe the weird controls of GoToMeeting.
No worries. So here we go. So here we can see a quick list of all the members that we have on our website. We can see the subscription level they signed up for, the status of their account, whether or not it's an automatically recurring subscription when they expire, et cetera, as well as a few other controls, things like filtering. So if you want to see the active members or the expired, the canceled, you can filter down by specific subscription levels. You can update expiration dates in bulk and do a variety of other things like that. You can also go in here, you can see the different subscription levels that you offer on your website. And so these are basically the plans that customers can sign up for. So here in this case, we have a bronze plan, a silver, and a gold plan. And you can see each, the bronze and the silver are 1 month plans. The gold is a 1 year plan. And you can see the price and then the number of subscribers. You can add any number of plans you want. You can have 5, 10, 50, 2, and members can also upgrade or transition between plans at any time, including proration. We also have the ability to have discount codes. So if you want to do a promotion where customers can get 20% off with a special coupon, you can do that. There's also a complete history kept of all payments made to the website from member accounts. So for example, if a customer signs up for a monthly subscription, it's going to record a payment once a month, either through your merchant account, which could be PayPal, Stripe, to checkout, et cetera. And it will then keep a history of all of those payments as they are recorded. Now, when it comes time to actually limit the content that members can see, that can be done in a variety of ways. First, you can do it on a post or page by page basis. So we can go in here to any particular post in our website. Let's just take a look at this one right here called a premium tutorial. Let's go over here to the edit screen.
There is a little bit of some lag there. So while that loads, one of the things that I think might be particularly challenging for you is feature requests for stuff like this. Like, hey, I want a 6-day trial, and when they're done with the trial, they get a coupon for 50% off, a 4-month trial. Like, you start getting all these wacky sort of requests. Do you have like a set? Is it just from like your last 5 years of supporting this plugin, you kind of know like, hey, these are the best sort of combinations to start with, and if you want something custom, well, that's just going to be custom. You're going to have to figure that out on your own.
We kind of look at it with the 80-20 rule again. Basically, if it's a feature that we think 80% of our customers are going to benefit from, it's something we seriously consider putting in.
Gotcha.
It's not necessarily something we can put in right away because development takes time.
Sure.
Some development is easier, some development is hard. It really depends on the feature. But as long as about 80% of our customer base can benefit from it, we will consider it for an official feature. If it's maybe a little bit more limited, then we still consider the feature as perhaps either a free add-on or a professional add-on that's available for the Ultimate and the professional license holders. So every feature request gets at least considered. Not every single one gets accepted.
Got it.
And that's just the nature of product development.
Yep.
So on any post or page, you can limit who can view a subscription, or sorry, who can view the content through this section right here called restrict content. So first of all, you have an option of limiting it to paid subscribers. Restrict Content Pro allows you to have both free and paid accounts. So this would limit it to only paid accounts. You can do a few things like limit or choosing to show an excerpt, so you can automatically display an excerpt of the content to subscribers that don't have access. You can hide it from an RSS feed, and then there's a few other access levels as well, like limiting it to very specific subscription levels or kind of a subscription level tier. And now, when you've restricted this, anybody who views this content on the front end is not going to see that. And I'll show you what that looks like in a moment.
What is the access? Sorry to break in, because this is actually a question I have of my own. What is the difference between access level and subscription level?
That's a pretty common question, and is one of those little nuances in the plugin that maybe we could think about a little or change a little bit better, because they are a little bit similar, but they're very different at the same time. So a subscription level is a plan, basically. So you have a gold plan, a silver plan, a bronze plan. And so if you limit a piece of content to a specific plan, you have to be subscribed to that plan in order to view the content. An access level is a tiered system. So let's say that you have 5 tiers. So you have access level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can set the access level that a subscription grants to a member for when they're registered that account. So let's say that, for example, the silver plan grants access to the access level 3. That means that that member will be able to access any content that is restricted to access level 3, 2, 1, or 0. So basically, you have to have an access level that is greater than or equal to the one set on the content.
Aha, gotcha. So that's even more granular, right? I mean,
Right.
yeah.
The other thing that you can do is you can actually restrict content on a per category level. So if you have, let's just say that there's a category of tutorials on your website, if you're doing a tutorial website, or maybe it's a blog or whatever kind of website that you have, but maybe you have a category and you want everything in that category to be restricted. You can also do that by setting the restriction levels on a category basis. So then anything that is categorized into that tutorial will be restricted. So for example, you can see I have this category restricted to paid subscribers only. I have not set a subscription level or an access level required. So that means as long as you have a paid account, you can access it. Any subscription level will let you view this. Now I'm going to go ahead and log out and show you from the front end what these restricted tutorials look like, just as a very basic example. And then I'm going to register a quick account just to show you how easy it is to register an account, get access into your membership details, etc. All right, so this is our login page. Let's go ahead and go over here to the tutorials category. And this is just a very basic default WordPress install running one of the default themes. You can see we have two tutorials here, one right here and then one further down on the page. And you can see at the bottom it says this content is restricted to paid subscribers, register an account today or log in. So this message right here is configurable from the plugin settings. It can say anything you want. It can have graphics. It can have links. It can have whatever you want. So if I try and view this tutorial, I'm not going to be able to view it. So let's go ahead and register an account. Let's say I've decided that I really want to purchase access to this, so I'm going to do that. And so here this is our registration form. So let's just register a quick demo account.
And it's important to note that if you are running a membership site, a lot of you might just have a free plan and just free access, and really the transaction is going to be signing up and handing over the email. It doesn't necessarily always have to be a paid transaction, right? And of course, Restrict Content Pro does support that.
And I apologize for the scrolling. It's lagging a little bit on my end through GoToMeeting, but you can see there are the different plan levels. So we can choose if we want gold. And each time that you select a new level, it will update the pricing shown here. And it shows us which level we've selected, the price, how much we're going to pay today, and how often it's going to recur, and how much we're going to pay per year. We can also choose how we want to pay. So we can pay either through PayPal or credit or debit card. And these are the options that I have configured for this particular site. So let's go ahead and pay with a credit card. And for this example, it's going to go through a Stripe account. So we have just a nice, simple credit card form. Oops, copy and paste fail. So we're going to enter, this is just a demo credit card that I'm going to use for this.
Is the recurring built into the core of the plugin, or
yes,
is
it
that
is.
Okay, cool, awesome.
Recurring is offered to every single customer, regardless of whether you have a personal license or a professional ultimate license.
Nice.
And you can also configure as a site administrator whether or not you want to allow your customers to choose if they want their subscription to automatically renew. So you can have all subscriptions be a one-time payment only, and then they expire after a certain amount of time. You can have them all be forced to recurring, or you can let customers choose. In this particular case, customers are able to choose. I can go ahead and register. And nope, I don't want to save my password. Thanks, Safari.
Maybe Safari's the culprit here.
All right, so it's going to take a moment. So right now, basically, it's taking that credit card detail, sending it to Stripe, determining if we can charge the card, and then coming back with a success message. So now we're sent to a welcome page where you can have any content you want. I mean, it's just a standard WordPress page. You can put anything on it you want. I've added 2 sample links, one to go to our account page to view our account details, and one to go ahead and link directly to our member tutorial. So let's take a quick look at our account page. And here we can see our subscription status. We see that we purchased the gold subscription. Here's the date that it's going to renew. And if I wanted to, I could upgrade or change my subscription. And it also is going to have proration enabled. So let's say that I subscribe to the silver subscription level, and then I come back and realize, you know what, I really want the gold. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that, and it will prorate based on what I've already paid. I can cancel my subscription at any time. I can see my payment history as well, and I can also even download a PDF receipt of it. Now let's go over to the tutorial section and quickly see that we now have complete access to the tutorials. So no longer does it show that this is restricted to paid subscribers only.
Nice. Could you show us and that was obviously fairly easy, and I'm sure that like again using the example of the woman that I spoke to last night, the challenging part might not even be the technology side of the business. Well, it certainly isn't in her case, but it'll be sort of the planning, the thought process, the membership levels, what happens when a member logs in, what page do they go to, right? These are things that even though your plugin supports these options, the person really has to think through the interface, the user interface of what happens when you sign up. I mean, your plugin can't direct them for their particular brand, but you give them the options to set that stuff up. And that's when sort of the real 20% kicks in. Can you show us where you edit the registration message when somebody's not, or excuse me, the restricted message when somebody's not logged in?
Yeah, let me see if I can log out and log back in as an administrator.
Because to me, this is where somebody who's really looking to sign members up, using that input box to sort of come up with a crafty sales message to really entice somebody to sign up is very important.
Yeah, certainly. Give me just a moment. I'm going to grab my password from my LastPass.
Oh, this is the demo that I created, correct? So yeah, that might not.
Yeah, give me just 1 second, and then I can certainly do that.
One of the so to me, membership sites, it's really the foundation of the new age digital entrepreneur, right? And I think a lot of us, the digital education market is huge. People that have sort of crafted their own little niche. Doesn't always have to be internet marketing. It could be anything, right? It could be a plumber, right? A plumber could set up his or her own tutorial site, or even access to paying customers to download certain files or schematics. It could be whatever you want to sort of give access to people, and these types of plugins really solve that need.
Yeah, certainly. So if we want to switch back to the screen, I'm logged in now. Yes. I can show that. So underneath in the restrict menu, there's a settings link. And in here, you're going to have a few things, including things like connecting your merchant processor, your PayPal or your Stripe account, configuring your PDF invoices, configuring a few other settings, etc. But there is the setting that Matt was referencing earlier can be seen down at the bottom, where we have what's called a free content message and then also a premium content message. So if you have content that is restricted to free subscribers, basically all it requires is that they have a user account on the website. They don't necessarily have to have a paid subscription. This would be the message that is shown to those to non-logged in users when trying to view that content. And then you have a premium content message. So any content that requires a paid account, when a user views that, logged in or not, if they don't have access to it, that's what's going to show. So it gives us just a quick text editor where we can put in any content we want, including media. If we want, we can do quick formatting on it. So like in this case, I just changed the text to red. I added a registration link, et cetera. But you can really have anything you want. So if you're doing something really nice and professional, you might have a nice, pretty graphic there, or an upsell to explain to them why they should be doing this. It's pretty much up to you on what you would like to add.
Yeah, nice. On a recent membership site that I built for a training course that I put together for a presentation at a local meeting that I had, first thing I did was change it to red. I came in, changed the message to red, and I was actually thinking about putting a little dotted line around it or something like that. Something
like a lockbox or something to make it apparent to people that they can upgrade or that they need to have a paid subscription to view it. And also, like, just a general piece of advice that I would give is make sure that you do it in a welcoming way, because what you really want to entice people to register, not deter them.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's great advice. That's great advice for sure. Um, Look, I mean, it's dead simple to start a membership site with this plugin. I think the price point is spot on. I think a lot of us who are looking to buy premium plugins, as a product creator myself, the professional plan is obviously where we want you to be, because it is truly the best value that we offer, right? And I think I speak for a majority of plugin creators and product sellers that we don't just recommend professional or whatever we might label it because it's more money and boy, we're going to be making more money, but it does really provide the best value. It gives you all the features. I mean, unlimited websites.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
Another feature that's may not be mentioned there is that there's a certain number of add-ons that we already have that are available. That also includes any additional add-ons that are released in the future. As long as your license is valid still, you haven't let it expire or you've canceled or anything like that, you're going to get those forever anytime they're released. And there's always new ones in development.
Yeah. I really see a lot of us moving to the $200 price point for an all-in kind of thing. I think it makes sense, right? I think it makes sense for a lot of us, and the value that's provided. You and I have actually talked about this in private before about, if you're a consultant and you're able to install and demo these things on any number of sites, or you're just a consultant, you have multiple products that you sell for $200, and you can sell 5 different membership websites. It's ridiculous, right? The price point that you have to invest.
Absolutely. I mean, the return on your investment is enormous.
Right. If there was an enterprise grade product, put out by Oracle, it would be $2 million for one website for the year. When you go pound for pound in features and capabilities. As we wrap up here, what's your advice as somebody obviously who's been, I think you're at 50 something plugins in WordPress.org. You sell countless others. You're a plugin admin for WordPress.org. You see plugins a lot. What's your advice for somebody who's maybe just starting out and saying, how do I pick the right plugin? Do I look for support? Do I ask pre-sales questions? What's your advice? Maybe somebody looking to buy their first premium plugin.
There's a few things I would look for. Number one, look and just figure out if the plugin looks like it will suit your needs. Figure out maybe a few of the basic features that you need and see if those are offered by the plugin. One thing that we see come in a lot through our pre-sale questions is somebody who has 50 requirements and they say, these are the things I have to have. Don't do that. Here's the thing. Unless you have a simple website, very few products are going to be 100% perfect fit for what you need. Because if you are setting up 50 requirements, no one has 50 requirements set. So instead, figure out what your 5 most important features are and find a product that has those. So if you're talking about memberships, number one, find one that works with the merchant processor that you're using. You're using Stripe? All right, first pick out your plugins that support Stripe, or if you're using PayPal. If you're using a different, more obscure merchant processor, such as CC Bill or numerous others, find one that supports those, and then that limits your options. So first, find those basic features that you need and work from there. Next, don't be afraid to ask a pre-sale question. And a lot of the time, the way that a company will answer your pre-sale question is a very good indicator of how good their support's going to be after you purchase a license. Another one, don't be afraid to make a purchase, even if the plugin isn't 100% going to suit your needs. And I don't mean that because I want you to come purchase my plugin even if you don't use it. I mean, the best way to figure out if a plugin suits your needs is to play with it. And so if they have a demo, try the demo. If they don't have a demo, see what their refund policy is. A lot of companies have a 100% refund guarantee in a certain time frame, and so you can purchase it 100% risk-free. You can buy it, you can figure out, does it work? Oh, it doesn't work? Ask for a refund, not a problem. We actually tell all of our customers up front, look, buy it, play with it. If it doesn't work for you or it's not what you need, let us know. We'll give you a refund, no questions asked, within 30 days. Another thing to look for is you can look for reviews of the plugin. You can look for people recommending it. That can be a good place to start. At least, like, are there people recommending the plugin, or are there people speaking out against the plugin? You're on any plugin that's been around for a while, you're going to find some of both. There is no perfect product out there, and there's always somebody who has great experience, and there's always somebody that has bad experience. So see if you can find some of those reviews and use your own best judgment. Like, for example, if you're looking at a really a ravingly bad review of a product, try and look at it from that person's perspective. Were they just angry that day, or did they actually have a terrible experience because the product is really unreliable, or the support team is unfriendly or unwilling to help? Look at the reasons for the review, both in great and bad reviews. Don't be afraid to try multiple options. Don't necessarily just pick one and stick with it because you went ahead and made that small investment. Here's, I think, something that people are afraid to do. They make a purchase, let's say it's a $50 plugin, and they're afraid to make a new $50. They don't want to make another purchase, so they just stick with it. And then over time, they realize that it was actually the wrong product for their needs. And so they spend more time fighting it or trying to get it to do what it's not designed to do than if they had simply bought the right product in the first place. So if you buy one and you realize it's the wrong one, go get another one. It's going to save you a lot of time and hassle.
Yeah, I completely agree. Many of those points, it's all, of course, as my friend Troy Dean says, solid gold. It fits right along with our Fuse analogy of picking WordPress plugins. You can get that at pluggedinradio.com/Fuse. But that last point is super important. I feel like a lot of people who are in this space, and this is going to be the beginning of a rant, but I feel like a lot of people in this space are sort of, I want to start a business. I want to get into this thing. It seems so easy, and I want to be able to sell stuff online and do all the stuff that all these great internet personalities that I, watch on Facebook and all this other stuff. They're like, yeah, that's easy. I want to do that too. But they're afraid to make the investment, or they don't realize that you're going to need to, not only you're going to need a lot of elbow grease to get this business going, you're going to need to spend some money. And they're just like, I don't want to spend a dime, but I want to make $1 million. Impossible. Not going to happen, right? You're going to have to register your business someday and hand over $20, right? So spend a little bit of money. Don't be afraid to spend that money and look at it as an investment. If you're afraid to spend the money, you're like, boy, I don't want to drop all this money. It's probably because you haven't properly planned yet, right? You haven't really thought out what you really need to run your business. You're excited about it, which is good, but you're just like, give me something that works, and you're afraid to sort of test these things out. So I think Pippin makes an excellent point.
I would add one more thing onto that. So obviously, don't be afraid to spend a little bit of money to get your business going, but also be wary of spending a ton. And so this kind of goes back to the don't have 50 features that you have to have.
Right.
Just choose the basics that you need. So get something started, spend $50, get a license of the plugin, get it started, and start running.
Right.
Then that gets you kind of the MVP out the door. And then as things start growing and taking off, add one thing there. Hire a developer, build a custom feature that you need. Add one more plugin that gives that other feature that you need. Don't try and do everything out of the box. Don't spend $30,000 to build a perfect website when you don't have a single visitor yet. Spend $50 because, number one, you're going to launch faster. Number two, you're going to get it out in front of your customers early. You may think that customers are offended if they see a non-perfect website or doesn't do everything. Wrong. That's complete malarkey.
Yeah.
So I want to give you an example. Restricted Content Pro has now been here for 5 years as a product or so, about 5 years. It launched on a blog post, and it lived on a blog post for 4 years. That was its product sales page, and it did quite well from that. It wasn't until 4.5 years later that we chose to actually build a website for the dang thing. Don't be afraid to start very, very small and basic. And so do the $50 investment and then do a little bit more along the way as things kind of prove themselves.
This is why people tune in to PluggedInRadio.com. It's an amazing ending to an amazing show. Pippin, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
The product that we looked at today is Restrict Content Pro. You can get that at restrictcontentpro.com. for 49 bucks, right? You jump in, 49 bucks, get your feet wet on your first membership course, or excuse me, membership website. If you're building a course or just a membership thing, you can do that for 49 bucks. It's a steal in terms of the amount of money you're going to make. Pippin, where can folks find you on the web to say thanks?
Well, obviously restrictedcontentpro.com, and you can reach out to us from our support page there, even if it's not a support question. Also, pippinsplugins.com and Pippins Plugins on Twitter.
Awesome. Everybody else, pluggedinradio.com. Again, if you enjoyed the show, you enjoy the format, go ahead and leave us a rating in iTunes if you're the audio-only listener. If you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit like. That really helps us out a whole bunch too. Till next time, thanks everybody.